First in high definition. Live, local, late breaking. This is WNBF News Today at 5.
Your family and friends could soon be enjoying new improvements at MYR, but it's going to cost the county millions extra. I'm breaking down the potential upgrades next.
Plus, a new report shows the agency in charge of maintaining order in the skies is vulnerable to hackers. Why is the FAA more than a decade behind everyone else when it comes to protecting your flight?
Then more people have died traveling on South Carolina roads this year than last. The common denominator to more than half of those deaths.
But first, for the first time in several days, we're actually waking up to a much more mild start, at least.
Your first alert forecast starts right now with Marla Branson.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, cool but not cold. The temperature is mainly in the mid-40s. One thing I am tracking early this morning, other than the cloud cover, is also a couple little spotty showers along the border belt. They're actually on the way out, so no worry there. And here are those temperatures. 43 for Lumberton, 48 in Myrtle Beach, which isn't too bad for this time of the year. 45 for Conway and 46 in Florence. Now, a live look over downtown Florence. The skies are quiet. Everything is clear for us other than that cloud cover. And if you want to get in that morning run, do it early. We're going to see some breezy northeast winds around 13 miles an hour, 45 by 7 o'clock this morning, so temperatures might drop just a little bit. But then as temperatures rise throughout the morning slowly, only to the upper 40s, our chances of rain increase as well. I'll have the details on those rain chances when I come back at 5:15.
Marla, thank you. Just about 5:02 on this Tuesday. You know, it's been the goal of Myrtle Beach International Airport for years now to attract more passengers, but to do that, they're going to have to get more funding for more improvements. Katrina Helmer live at the airport with details on how County Council might be able to help in that category.
Tonight, County Council will hear from MYR leaders on why they need more funding for the facade and also for more parking projects here at the airport and why it needs to be approved. The airport is asking for the budget to be reviewed and for the county to give an additional $3.2 million in funding to help cover the costs of these projects. If approved, it will match the new and old terminals so they'll look the same. It will also convert the old front roadway into an employee parking lot. The renovations for Concourse B already started back in January. The target for opening the concourse is this May, just in time for the busy summer season. Within Concourse B, restrooms are being expanded, the restaurants and gift shop will be reopened, and 6 more gates will be available to airlines. Last week, Allegiant Airlines announced they will be adding 5 new non-stop flights, increasing their seat capacity by nearly 200% from what it was 2 years ago. Leaders at the airport say it's proof the airport is worth the investment.
There's a lot of capacity growth, not just with Allegiant, but Spirit Airlines is up significantly. Just to give you an example, in April, Spirit is up about over 10,000 seats compared to last year. So there's a lot of growth going on.
County leaders tell me that the funding they are requesting is available in the budget, and so they are anticipating that this first reading will go well, but we'll just have to wait and see. Reporting live in Myrtle Beach, Katrina Helmer, WNBF News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. New this morning, a man is facing sexual exposure charges after an incident at a Walmart in Myrtle Beach. Police were called to that location on Seaboard Street Saturday. Employees told police 23-year-old Jeremy Bryant was in the clothing department and had his private parts out while touching himself. Officers say when they approached Bryant, he took off his jacket, placed it in front of himself, and tried to walk away, and that's when he was arrested. A woman who says she was robbed at knife point and had her tires slashed is now the one facing charges. Myrtle Beach police say 28-year-old Wesley Labachi told them it happened this weekend at a parking lot on Kings Highway. Police tracked down the man who said he contacted Labachi online for sex. He admitted to slashing her tires after Labachi took his money but didn't do what they agreed to. The man says he also did not rob her. Police have charged Labachi with filing a false report in regards to that robbery. Right now, 2 people are recovering after a shooting. Robeson County Sheriff's officials say that it follows a domestic situation in Lumberton. It started when a man shot his ex-girlfriend, then her current boyfriend shot him. This happened on U.S. Highway 74 West. An update on their conditions and possible charges have not been released at this time.
Report just released shows 129 people have died so far on highways here in the Palmetto State so far this year, about 6 more than the same time last year. This according to the South Carolina Department of Public Safety. 52 of those died were not wearing seatbelts, apparently. And here in Horry County, 10 lives have been lost due to these crashes. An update now to a deadly crash we first told you about right here on WMBF News Today. The Marlboro County coroner tells us 43-year-old Earl Hatcher died in the wreck along U.S. Highway 1. Officials with South Carolina Highway Patrol say Hatcher crossed the center line and hit an 18-wheeler head-on. The 18-wheeler then went off the side of the road and flipped over. The driver of that semi was not hurt. Both drivers were wearing seatbelts. New details now as we now know the names of the mother and son who died in a fire in Kingstree. The Williamsburg County coroner says 32-year-old Victoria McKenzie and 14-month-old Gunnar Epps died from smoke inhalation. Firefighters found them in a bedroom. The mom was on the floor, the baby in his crib. A neighbor says he tried to get them out of that burning home.
Using my ladder to try to get them, get into the house to save the young lady and the baby, but we weren't able to get in.
Fire officials say there was smoke and carbon monoxide detectors in the house at the time. They are still working to determine the cause of this blaze this morning.
This morning, a bus aide is facing charges of assault after police say she attacked a child with special needs. Georgetown police arrested 46-year-old Sharon McDonald at the end of January. They say the incident happened on a bus outside Georgetown Middle School. Police are continuing their investigation. Soon you'll have another shopping option in Murrells Inlet. The former Old World Italian restaurant will be turned into a Weasel's Warehouse. It'll have department store and catalog products at discount prices. The new store is expected to open by the end of this week. The owner tells us that the current location that opened in July on Highway 17 was just too small. A free workshop will be held for local businesses to help you prepare for disasters. Horry County Emergency Management is teaming up with other agencies for this event. It's happening next Wednesday from 8 a.m. to noon. The workshop is being held at the Horry County Government and Justice Center. That's on 2nd Avenue in Conway. Space is limited. To register, head over to WMBFnews.com. We have the registration information in this story under our local tab.
5:07 right now, and a reminder for you today, the Myrtle Beach Pelicans are holding auditions for fans to sing the national anthem at ticketreturn.com field. There's no age requirement for those looking to show their vocal talents, but if you have to sing, you'll do it without a music track. Groups and musicians are allowed to audition if they have their own instruments. Registration for the event is from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the ballpark, Gate 1. Auditions are happening rain or shine, with everyone getting the chance to audition. If listening to music is more your speed, though, like me, today we are expecting to learn more about the artists who will be performing at the Carolina Country Music Fest. According to the event's Twitter handle, an announcement is being made later today. Right now we know 9 of the 35 artists who will be taking the stage. Some include Eric Church, Lady Antebellum, and Hunter Hayes. The 3-day festival kicks off June 5th in downtown Myrtle Beach. We'll update you online and on air with all those new details coming out today. The Visit MyrtleBeach.com Big South Basketball Championships return to the Grand Strand today. Sand artists were out creating a sculpture in front of the HTC Center ahead of the championship. Beautiful, isn't it? 22 teams from 11 schools will compete for the top prize through Sunday. The women's tournament starts today. The men's tournament begins on Wednesday. We have you covered for the game schedules and buying tickets. Just head to WMBFnews.com. All of that information is in the story under the local tab.
The new Secretary of Defense, Ashton Carter, will be on Capitol Hill today. It's to defend the administration's military budget request for next fiscal year. It's Carter's first appearance before the Senate Armed Services Committee since he took office. The committee is widely expected to ask Carter tougher questions than he got during his confirmation hearings. He will be accompanied by General Martin Dempsey, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Well, new at 5, a recent report says the Federal Aviation Administration is vulnerable to attacks from hackers. The Government Accountability Office released a 42-page document outlining problems with cybersecurity. It claims the agency doesn't have enough controls on computer access and user authentication, and that it has failed to meet the requirements of a 2002 information security law. The FAA says that it will be increasing training, do better record keeping, and stronger requirements for access to critical systems. Well, North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory says his 2-year budget proposal will give public school teachers a raise. This is for new and experienced teachers. Mr. McCrory's plan would also let public schools get more textbooks and computers for classrooms. It would give nearly $300 million in newly funding for kindergarten through 12th grade education.
We made this promise that there will not be an entry-level teacher anywhere in North Carolina making less than $35,000 a year.
The exact details of how he plans to have that money for the plan are expected to be released later this week. An EMS training officer is being recognized for her commitment and dedication to Florence County. Kate Smith was presented with the 2014 Jack Niles Award for Excellence in EMS Education. The South Carolina EMS Network presents this award every year. Smith was honored for unwavering commitment, tireless work with committees, and providing monthly in-service training to the Florence County EMS.
A boy is recovering from serious injuries, this after falling more than 25 feet from a chairlift at a ski resort, Minnesota's Spirit Mountain. 8-year-old Cameron Jones suffered a fractured rib, pelvis, tailbone, and other injuries. There he is. His mother believes the helmet that he was wearing at the time is the reason he survived. Little Cameron tells us about that scary moment and what it was like.
And I couldn't get back, so I had to hang on. And then I thought I was low, so I let go. And I fell like 30 feet. I was falling, and then I hit the ground, and I blacked out, and I woke up with there was a bunch of people around me.
Yeah, very concerned people. Cameron has been released from the hospital. He's expected to make a full recovery. Folks, you won't believe what was considered safe cargo by airlines until now. Coming up, a fire and explosion threat that will not be on your next flight.
Plus, there are chances for rain in your forecast. I'll tell you when they could hit right after the break.
Don't have the best posture? Sore back? Well, a trip to the chiropractor might be overdue. Today at 4, 8 health benefits you could see from going to your chiropractor regularly.